So we are rolling.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. This is Kerry Williams. I am tuning in from Chandler, Arizona. We are so excited to have each of you on the Zoom tonight. And I know a lot of people will be watching the recording later. So we're excited to have you taking the time out of your busy day to hear what we are so passionate about. So I was actually introduced to Life Vantage 13, almost 14 years ago. This coming summer, it'll be 14 years in June. At the time, I had a brand new baby. He was literally 3 days old, and it was Father's Day. And my really good friend, another Kerry, she actually called me and said, Kerry, I know your baby Luke is 3 days old, but I have something that is going to blow your ever loving mind. And she shared this information with me. And you guys, I watched some of it in the middle of the night after feeding my little baby. I stayed up researching it. I was blown away at the potential and all the people that this could help. And it's just been this incredible blessing in my family's life, and I'm so grateful for it. But I want you to get to hear first from Dr. Brett Brimhall. So my little newborn Luke, who was 3 days old when I first was introduced to this, he ended up being diagnosed with autism when he turned 2. Dr. Brett Brimhall was Luke's doctor. We met Dr. B when Luke was 3. And Dr. Brimhall worked with Luke every single week at that point for a year before Axio came out, which you'll hear about. And it just made a tremendous impact. Now, Dr. Brimhall, he is married with 4 kids. He's a chiropractor. He's been teaching and training physicians 25, 30, like a lot of years. 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
30 years. He's worked with his father, and they have pioneered the 6 steps to wellness, and they have taught and trained physicians literally throughout the US, but all over the world as well. They have formulated supplements and then taught physicians on how to integrate those products into their practice. So when I introduced this to him, let me tell you, he was a hard no thank you. We'll put it nicely, right? No, thank you. I have no interest in this. But he watched some changes in my son unfold. And so I will let him share that with you. But I am truly just honored and humbled to have him on this Zoom with us tonight. He sits on the Science Advisory Board for Life Vantage. He is very well known, well respected. He has this just huge heart and a mission to help others. And so he is just passionate about these products and this business and what this can do to help others. As he opened his mind and dug into the research and watched what happens in different people's lives. So Dr. Brimhall, take it away.
Hey, Kerry, thanks so much. And she's right. Like, I was not open at all. And it took really the persistence of her, but really me seeing some changes that I was hoping to see in her son. So just to backstep just a little bit. Yeah, so I've been teaching and training physicians since 1995, actually before that, but really hardcore since 1995. And so we would teach and train physicians, and my dad would formulate products. And so he'd been in practice since 1971. We developed the systems called the 6 steps to wellness. So when she had her son come to me, I started talking to her and him, and I said, well, look, let's do everything we possibly can to see if we can unlock this little guy's potential. And what I want to do is kind of paint a picture of what his life looked like. And because all of us probably have different things in our health or our lives or our family or our friends that are having struggles, and we just want, like, is this the best it's going to get? And so his life consisted of seeing therapists. So he spent 35 hours of his week, every single week, seeing different doctors and therapists to work on his speech, to work on his behavior, to work on his just integrated in society. So we were wondering, like, what will his life look like? Because he didn't know his letters, didn't know his numbers, wasn't potty trained. So we did everything we possibly could to help him. That included, like, nutritional work, chiropractic, detox therapies. He was doing IVs, infrared saunas, foot baths, and seeing all these other therapists. And so when you're seeing all these other therapists, the goal is for the person to learn, like, and to be able to progress. Well, his progression was extremely slow. So we were doing all these things that basically people come to us when they've gone everywhere else, and it was going super, super slow. So a year into this process, he was making small little changes, and most people give up because they don't have the time or they don't have the money. And we know with brain development, and especially with individuals like her son, it's a slow process. And I remember coming in one day and she said he's starting to notice he's different. Like he was now understanding that my brothers got straight A's. I'm not getting straight A's. And he said in his own little way, like, I just want to be smart like my brother. Now, with the dad of four, it broke my heart. Like, because his mom, Kerry, would do anything for her son. She built a business that allowed her to have the income and the time to pour everything into him. And I didn't have any more answers. And it was shortly after that that the company Life Energy developed this drink called Axio. And I remember Kerry bringing it to me. And she goes, I'm going to give this to my son. And, as a guy, I'm known to say things that I probably shouldn't have said, right? But I said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's give a hyper 4-year-old an energy drink. That makes a lot of sense. Now, as soon as those words came out of my mouth, I regretted them in the sense, well, not in a sense, absolutely, because what do we give individuals that struggle with focus and concentration? We give them a stimulant. Well, thank goodness she was smarter than I was, and she had done the homework and was open to looking to do anything she could possibly do good for her son. 11 days into him starting that, he came into my office and he did something he'd never done. He sat still. Like, that's a big deal. He'd come in my office, he'd destroy my office. He'd like literally get in a rolly chair and run around the office. I'd put everything in my office up as high as I could, like my acupuncture needles, things like that, keep it out of the way. I worked on him, and then we put him in the back area. Instead of having to put him in front of the TV to do things, he actually was on point with the therapy. Then we asked a question, it was on point. Like, he was actually talking about things that we had worked on close to a year previous. Like, the things that were in him, he just couldn't get them out. And I think that's where the frustration comes with a lot of people. This information there, but it can't come out. And really from that point on, it turned on the switches inside his brain, where his brain now began to learn, remember, and recall. And that was the beginning of the beginning for him. So 6 months later, he was tested again. So mind you, he was tested at the beginning of the year, September, bottom of his class. 6 months later, he's tested again, top of his class. He became the peer model of behavior, which was, if you know Luke at that time, he was not the model you wanted to follow. 6 months later, he started his school without a diagnosis, without an IEP or extra help. What happened is all these things started clicking, and his brain began to learn. So from then he didn't see me as much. He didn't need to see therapists as much. That opened me up to like where I'm like, I don't understand, like this shouldn't happen, knowing what I saw with the ingredients in that thing. Because I looked at products and we developed products based upon ingredients. I'm like, it didn't look that special. When I saw Protandim Nerf 2, I knew what Nerf 2 was. I had actually, taught with individuals called Dr. Perlmutter, who actually helped develop the product called Nerf 2 Activator. We taught with that company. So I was familiar with the science, but I didn't get good results. Like, I didn't get the results that they said that we should based on the science. So I'm like, well, maybe it's just not that big a deal. I had not read the studies or utilized the product Protandim Nerf 2 until Axio, until I saw what I saw in her son. So I remember Kerry coming in one day. She's, hey, what are you doing next week, next Thursday? I said, well, I'm seeing patients, and I think you're on my schedule. That's what I do on Thursdays. And she said, why don't you cancel patients, fly with me to South Dakota, and let's meet the scientists that developed the Axio. Now, I don't know why I said yes, other than like I felt I needed to go to try to understand what it was that I needed to see to understand why did we see these changes. Because I had been treating little kids, families and individuals that I just hadn't been able to help the way that I thought was possible. And I remember going there, and the scientist, I magically sat next to the scientist at lunch, which was all orchestrated through Kerry. And he said, look, people are tired because they're mentally tired. And what Axio does is addresses mental fatigue. So in her son, mental fatigue manifested or looked like autism, like couldn't focus, couldn't concentrate, couldn't hold still, wasn't able to learn and progress. Now, in other people, that might look like overwhelm or decision fatigue. Like when the brain is fatigued, all sorts of things happen. Your brain controls every part of your body. So I came back from that event with two things. One, realizing, okay, what I thought was possible, it could be well beyond that. Because I didn't think that would be possible for an individual. I've been doing this a long time. And I also saw something about this community of LifeVantage. I saw, a couple hundred people like excited about like listening to science and like excited about sharing these products with people because of these changes in their lives. And I started hearing stories of individuals and the lives that were being changed. And something started clicking in my head, like, well, let's see. And I remember bringing and calling some of my closest patients that I'd been treating, some of them up to 10 to 15 years, that I'd done everything I possibly could. We'd have them travel to other people like Dr. Amen and other people like that to see what else might be possible for them if we can get them to that next level. And I watched many of my clients become activated. Taking these products to activate our genes to improve the capacity of what the cells could do. Like if your cells aren't healthy, they can't function optimally. So what I was giving them was supplements to support the system, but I didn't know I could have products that would activate cellular processes where I could improve the capacity of what those cells could do. And so I watched many of my clients that I'd worked with for a decade and longer having results that I wasn't able to get. Not because I didn't have the same heart, not because I didn't have the same desire, not that my work ethic could change, but I had a different tool. So we're here to share with you guys a science that's new, that if you haven't heard about it, count your blessings you're learning about it now, because every single person on the planet, in my opinion, at some point in time, will learn about this concept of activation. And instead of guessing if the supplement's going to work, if you're a mammal or a human, these could have life-changing effects on you because you're functioning right now. The way you feel right now is directly proportionate to the level of activation you're experiencing within your body, within your cells. And so let me just kind of show you what this represents in a picture for me. Okay. So this right here, well, I probably should share my screen. That would be helpful. I got so excited. Had to get going. All right. So technology. Here we go, guys. All right. We call it take it, feel it, share it. So for me, it wasn't this way. It was see it and then take it, feel it, share it, right? But this is right here a picture of my nephew's handwriting. So mind you, I've been working with this little guy. He was 9 at the time since he was born. I had bought extra equipment to try to help him. And when I saw what I saw in her son, I said, well, who do I know that this might help? And so some of them, these were my family members that I struggled. I have 2 nephews specifically. This one of them. This was his handwriting. 2 weeks on Protandim and Axio. That handwriting changed from what's on the left to on the right. But what also happened is this was a little guy that struggled at school. He usually had to stay in at recess because he couldn't focus to save his life to where he could do his homework on time. And he also struggled with the social clues. So he struggled with friends. Well, in 2 weeks' time, his brain didn't change, but his brain's perception of the world vastly did, to where even his handwriting changed. I saw that happen with him. I saw it happen with my other nephew that was basically he was born on drugs. His mom was on drugs at the time. My other sister adopted him, and I watched him over the last years as he had an activated brain. His capacity to learn, his capacity to excel in school and to be successful in life is drastically different because of this process known as activation. So I'm just excited that many of you are going to learn this, and hopefully you'll think of somebody you love, somebody you care about, somebody that you're wondering, I wonder if this might be a fix for. So I said fit for. So I'm going to show you, I talked a little bit about the science, and then if you want to learn more about the science, great, get with whoever invited you and let them kind of dig into that. But I just want you to know what the possibilities are. Because one of the things that's fascinating about the human body and health, we don't really have to understand how it works. We just want to know what we need to do to make it work. So this concept of activation was really happened clear back in 2003 is when the product basically became developed. It really didn't catch really much momentum until 2005, to where ABC investigator report John Quinones went in and did an investigation on the product. They heard about this doctor that said, hey, we can turn back the clock of aging. So we're going to click short clip of that video so you can see what that looks like. And I'm going to come back and talk to you about what it is. Because when you watch this, I want to think about if this is really true, who could benefit and who do you want to benefit from it now? And do you want it now or do you want it later? And if you're like many of us that are looking for other ways to develop income sources and help change lives, could this be something we could do as a business to get this to other people? So here we go.
Following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005. You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver. It was a pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh? It is. We're very excited about it. His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments, they have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. Bad for the body, leading to disease, and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. Have you discovered the fountain of youth? I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can kill it. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my result. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. 45%. That's excellent. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after, which if extrapolated back is the level you would see in a newborn baby. Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so if that's the first time you've seen that, I want you to like he took it not really having symptoms, but what happened, he realized that so basically every one of us on this planet, if you live on this planet, has oxidative stress, but he had a reduction in 2 weeks of 45%. So how is that possible? Because you look at what's in this Protandim Nerve 2, it's ashwagandha, milk thistle, green tea, turmeric, and milk thistle. Like when I first saw that product and I looked at the back of the bottle, I said, well, it just doesn't look that special. Well, again, those words were based upon what I thought I knew. So I didn't understand this concept of activation at the time. So that combination has an effect on your body to where it turned on the body's ability to handle the cellular stress. So just to give you a perspective of what that does. So when you live, eat, breathe, and have life and stress, your body ages, and it ages based upon how fast your body can get rid of what's called free radicals or bad guys. So in order to combat that, our cells have systems that make what's called antioxidants. You might have heard of glutathione. That's one of the big ones. So Protandim Nerve 2, when you take one of those pills, it would equal the potential that gives your cells to basically get rid of the bad guys is equal to eating 400 oranges a day or 500 cups of broccoli a day or 110 cups of blueberries. So that's a huge difference. So, and the other side of that, it happened inside the cells. So I don't know of anybody that one would eat 400 oranges in one day, let alone every single day. But if you could turn on the cellular processes, the capacity your body has to quench those free radicals drastically changes. We call this process activation. So why is this a big deal? Because pretty much all human illness or problems are directly related to oxidative stress. So later go on PubMed, which is called pubmed.gov, and research this word called oxidative stress. So if you type in oxidative stress in human health, you're going to find there's 318,000 plus studies on oxidative stress as it relates to human problems. So if you have any of these things in your body, eyes, ears, heart, skin, kidneys, joints, lungs, brains, immune system, they're being bombarded every single day with oxidative stress. If you're not handling that well, you're going to develop what we call dysfunction. And if you have dysfunction long enough, it may give you symptoms, and then it can eventually lead to disease. So the goal is to get your body back in a state of harmony where it can handle that stress that it's under. So why does this happen? We live in this world. And many of the things that cause oxidative stress are not even things that you see. They're things that you breathe in, they're things that you're exposed to, whether that's, Wi-Fi or whether that's just herbicides and pesticides that are all around. It doesn't take you very long to just watch the TV of how much stress your body's under. When that happens, these are some of the symptoms that can happen when you look at that one on the left. So if you're not feeling the way you want to feel, it's probably related to how your body's handling oxidative stress. So we now have a solution for that. This product with those things, God Pharmacy put together a very specific ratio, had a very specific effect. And the fascinating thing, because that video aired clear back in 2005, there's been over 30 now published studies that are peer-reviewed, independently done, that are on Protandim Nerve 2, not the ingredients, but the actual product, showing they're verifying what they found in the first time. So, and these aren't little places. This is like Mayo Clinic. This is like Ohio State, things that are being studied like skin cancers to heart disease. So it's a huge, huge deal. This pathway in the body is known as NERV2. Washington State calls the pathway of NERV2 potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. If that's true, we better find a way to activate that in the right way if you want to take advantage of that. And we have that with Protandim Nerve 2. And we don't have to guess if it will. And because it's been duplicated in over 30 published studies, we know it happens every single time. So do you want to take advantage of that now or later? Now, because this concept of activation is new, LifeVantage, when they started sharing this and people were having results, they said, well, what other opportunities do we have to activate? Well, let me show you something. They developed a collagen. Now, why is that important? Over 20,000 of your proteins in your body are made up of collagen. So think of collagen like the scaffolding in your body. So if you didn't have the scaffolding, you'd be a big blob on the floor. So they developed an activated liquid collagen. So look at this slide on the left, and you'll see these are all the places in your body where collagen is. Like, look, nails, gut, affects your sleep, right? Affects your cardiovascular system. So if you are not eating the skin of fish or eating like things like rooster comb soup, things like that, you're probably not getting adequate levels of collagen, which is directly affecting how fast you're healing and also how fast you're aging. So why does this work differently? So remember, the thing that we do that's different is we activate. So the way this works is by doing what we call activate, replenish, and maintain. Let me tell you what that looks like. So activation is this magical little formula called ruby red quinoa. This is the key that unlocks the door inside the cells that actually produce collagen. That stuff on the left, if you really are a science geek, great, go and look at that. These are the genes. They go in there, the key switches inside your cells that control the production of collagen. Once you're 25 and sometimes earlier, your collagen production drastically drops off. So if you feel like you're aging faster than you want to, guess what? Big part of it is because your body's not able to produce the collagen at the level it should. So your body is breaking down. So with this activated collagen, it increased that collagen density in 8 weeks. You can see the brightness of that. It changed over 40% in that 8-week period of time. So it does that because it activates the fibroblasts to make it, but also it has these what's called hydrolyzed collagen peptides. So think of these little tiny particles that your body has to have to rebuild. Think like little Legos. If your body can't absorb it, it doesn't do any good. Most collagens on the market are the powdered collagens. My wife was taking one literally for years, big bucket from Costco, and really saw no results. She would take it because she heard it was supposed to be good for her. I never recommended a collagen, even though I read studies on them, but I never saw consistent results where I would say, hey, go ahead and take it. I think one of the biggest reasons why was because the body could not absorb it because the molecules were too big. With this one, 10 different types of collagen that your body can not only absorb, but actually can then utilize. Because if you eat something, and many of you probably feel like you ate something and felt super full afterwards, and you felt heavy, well, that's because your body wasn't breaking it down. So if that's happening, you're not getting the benefit. And then it has some very specific fruits and berry extracts in it that help regulate the genes that help the collagen breakdown. So not only does it turn on the switches to produce it, it helps your body absorb it, and it helps you maintain what you already have. But it's really important to see the picture. Now, when collagen was first being released, I wasn't very excited about it. So I'm not the doctor say, let's make you look younger. I'm more like, let's let you feel and function ideally. But look at some of these pictures. This is what we started seeing. In just a short period of time, people are seeing changes in their skin, changes in their hair, changes in their nails. The body healed at different rates based upon what part of the tissue, what the tissue is doing, what tissue it is, whether it's skin replicates the fastest. Look at a couple of these other ones. Look at the changes around the eyes, around the mouth. Okay, look at the legs. So if this is happening on the outside, And I want you to think, have you taken a collagen before? Did you get the benefits that you want? I really think the most expensive supplements is the one that doesn't get the results. But if this is happening on the outside, what might be happening on the inside? We also started seeing things like this. Individuals that were struggling with issues with opening and closing their hand from, autoimmune type processes were actually seeing changes to where they started having more functionality. One of the studies we did early on after this, because we started seeing these changes, was a study that allowed us to see why that's taking effect. So if you want to look at the study later, go ahead and look at that. And we found that this helps regulate the genes and the processes that regulate not only the inflammatory process in the body, but the immune system. The immune system has to function ideally. If not, if it goes haywire, it's called autoimmune, and that's like friendly fire, and that's not a good thing. But we started seeing these changes in a short period of time. My own wife specifically, like she's had some feet pain on and off for a number of years, even though I'd worked on her and I would giving her really good supplements, and she was on Nerf too. When she added the collagen in within less than a week, the pain that she had on her feet when she first woke up in the morning and tried to exercise was gone. It's the one product that she will never miss. She'll travel everywhere with, because the way it changed her body to function. So here's what the study showed. With the Nerf and the collagen together, the collagen density went from instead of like 40% up to 100%. Right? That's a giant difference. So again, going back to what I said before, without your level of how you feel and function, direct proportion to your level of activation. With Protandim and the Protandim family line, we can now activate the body's ability to control the inflammation process, the ability to control how the cells heal, how the cells make energy, and how the cells recycle. Well, they've applied all of this activation to also a skincare. So one thing I'll challenge you to do is to go later and to get an app called Think Dirty and scan all your beauty products and see how much toxicity they are. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that are causing problems are coming from our skincare. So they've made a very, very, very clean skincare product that allows you to not only like activate on the outside, but activate on the inside. Here's a couple of simple pictures. These are changes with some of them in as little as 15 minutes. So we want to activate every part of your body from the inside, whether you're talking about optimizing your health, achieving form, or looking radiant. So for me, when I started this, it was because I saw this changes in this little boy. And I feel it an honor and a blessing and a duty to share this message with as many people as possible, because there are a lot of other Lukes out there that will never come in Arizona and see a chiropractor because they're having a hard time learning to integrate in society. But we need a lot of people sharing this message. And for me, what it took was this. I saw these massive changes in Luke, and I started putting it in my patients' lives. I'm a busy practitioner, and I had a really good practice, super busy. I worked Monday through Thursday, I was off, and around all this, when all this was going on, I started to see these changes in people and just starting to share it and really have success with what people are feeling. I broke my leg playing basketball, and I remember getting in right back. My brother said, "You need to be off your leg." I said, "That can't happen. Like I can't stop practice. Like I've got a wife, a kids, a practice, and like it's not an option." And I remember feeling like that one other time in my life. Is like, what would I do if I couldn't practice? How would I provide for my family? And that's when I really started looking at, well, how did Kerry build a business to where she was able to pour all the time and money into her child because she'd created an income that was separate from herself. And so we went to work. And what that meant for me was to go out and to share this message with people all across the globe. But what it gave me in return, it gave me time back. It also gave me a mental freedom I never had before, to where now I'm able to make money helping impact people's lives, but I make money based on work I did in the past. And what that did for me as a father is it freed me up mentally drastically. So now, after doing this, the first 3 years, I worked super hard. And in 3 years, it allowed me the option to sell my practice because I could now have income that I didn't have to practice in the same way. So now I practice 2 days a week. I love it. I get to do this, impact life, people's life all across the world. But that would not have been possible if I hadn't seen what I saw in Kerry's son, and Kerry hadn't helped me learn how do we share this message with the world and help me see how this could be a bigger vision for how we can impact the world in a big way. So Kerry, I am beyond grateful for the opportunity I've got to work with you, and not only like the process of Luke and your own family, but the process of taking this message to the world And I'm just excited for the next chapter of how we can help other people bring this to their friends and family to impact their health to become the best, version of themselves, but also find other people that want to partner with us to take these products and this message to the world with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. I just absolutely love hearing your story. So you guys, if you are on this Zoom or watching it, to really learn about the products, we are thrilled. 90% of my business comes from customers. So get with the person that invited you. We have some other key products and they can really, talk to you and share more information or answer your questions and figure out what is best for you. Or if you are like me, when I saw this, I was like, wait a minute. So just keeping it simple, because back then we only had Protandim Nerve 2. I'm like, wait, every single person out there has oxidative stress. It is linked to hundreds of diseases, and that Protandim Nerve 2, it reduces oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, up to 70% in 4 months. So my mind just started spinning, and I thought, well, if this is true, then everybody needs to know about this. And I immediately wanted my family to have it preventatively, but I thought of loved ones that were struggling with their health. And I just thought, what was possible? What could this do for them? And then I was also like, well, tell me more about this business. So at that point in time, I had been a retail manager. I was literally working retail for 13 years. I had been a store manager at a department store, and then at Bath and Body Works. I had a 4-year-old and a brand new baby when I was introduced to this. My husband was an attorney. He did commercial litigation. We were each working 70 plus hours a week. And I truly, I felt like we were just grinding it out. Not much had changed in the last 10 years. Like, you just keep working, and really feeling like if we don't make a change, nothing is going to significantly change. And so I saw this business potential centered around this groundbreaking product. And I saw the ability to impact more lives than I possibly could, while you could potentially create both time and financial freedom. And I got really excited about that as well. So let me just share a little bit about that with you. So whether you're looking, just to tell your friends and family so they can experience the health benefits, we absolutely love that. Or maybe you or someone you know is looking to earn an extra 300, 500,000, 2,000 or more a month, because we all know inflation is crazy right now. The price of just everything from the grocery store to all of it is sky high, and people are struggling and they are looking for ways to earn extra income. So if you are open to hearing about that, let me share a little bit more with you on that as well. Let's go to the next slide, if you don't mind. Awesome. And keep going. So what I found was this business model. Well, first of all, it made sense to me, you guys. If I believe in something, I naturally share it with people. I have sent so many people to Dr. Brimhall because I felt like they could benefit from him, right? Or I do hot yoga. I've sent so many people to hot yoga or different therapies we've had, or maybe a restaurant or a great book, or if you've traveled somewhere and you're telling people about it. So what I found was just keep this really, really simple. We have literally products that can benefit people in a massive way based on science. This is different. Instead of supplementing what we're deficient in, we're activating pathways. We're flipping a switch, getting your body to function. So we are not curing, treating, preventing, mitigating disease. No, we are getting the body to function the way that it should. And so then when I saw this business, I'm like, this is the perfect side income as well. If you're a business owner on this Zoom, when you compare what you've had to go through, most likely to this, you don't have assets, you don't have overhead, you don't have employees, you can work from anywhere. We have a customer service center. There's huge tax benefits. You guys, we are publicly traded on the NASDAQ. This picture was literally taken this summer. I got to be part of ringing the bell on NASDAQ. It was absolutely such an incredible honor, as we were recognized for our growth as a company, and also this science that Dr. Brimhall briefly mentioned on this synergy between the collagen and the Nerve 2. Each product is phenomenal on their own, but there is massive synergy and the benefits exponentially increase when taken together. So all we're doing is we're sharing these groundbreaking products, and then we're also sharing the potential for entrepreneurs that see, okay, here's the vision of what we have our hands on. Nobody still knows about this, and it is wide open. So like I said, we're publicly traded. I love that fact. Our numbers, it's all an open book. So the company has grown to around 200 million annually, and we are looking to find those individuals that want to take this company to $1 billion and beyond. Spread this word to everyone. Everyone needs to know about it, and who wants to be a part of that as well. So let's go to that next slide. So we are building both a network of customers and a network of consultants. So again, if you're on this and you want to take this product, get with the person that invited you, we can put the order in right away and it'll ship out, and you'll have it within just a few days. Again, 90% of my business plus comes from customers. And then we also have a network of consultants. Again, many just want to share the health benefits with their friends and family. Maybe their family they've seen some incredible results in their loved ones and they're like, tell me more, what are you doing, right? And then there are entrepreneurs that truly see the vision in terms of, like Dr. B said, NERF 2, Washington State, potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history. I mean, that's what we have our hands on from a business perspective, and yet nobody knows about that. So we're building networks of customers and consultants. But what I also got excited about from the business perspective was the ability to create a leveraged income, meaning you're sharing this information with someone, and then month after month, if they continue to consume this product, which you need to take it consistently and give it time and let the products work and let your body heal. But month after month after month, you are getting paid again and again and again as you build a network of people that are consuming these products. And you guys, if you know me, my heart is really for that freedom, right? What could you do if you were not if you didn't have to worry about going to a job, or you weren't worried about finances, or you weren't worried about time? What if you could truly, be there for those loved ones that need you the most when rough times hit? Or what could you do to give back and leave a bigger impact on this world? What if you could build a business that, what I've really found, this business of network marketing, when it's done right, it's beautiful. It is servant leadership at its best. And your paycheck ends up being a direct reflection to the amount of lives that you've impacted. So what if you could change more lives through the product, while you create a vehicle that can ideally, potentially, if you work it, give you freedom in terms of your finances and in terms of time? That is absolutely what's possible. Like I said, we're publicly traded, so I love that you can literally see hard numbers. What are people truly making on average? For example, what they call the senior consultant 3, sorry, I gotta put my glasses on, yep. $659 extra on average per month. That person has, roughly $5,000 of product or so going through their group on a monthly basis. What if you could help someone earn an extra $659? What difference could it make for them? Maybe they would have one less side job. Maybe they would be able to put their kids in a sport that their kids been wanting to do. Maybe they'd be able to take a family vacation. Or when you hit the executive ranks, executive consultant, that means you've got at least 80,000 in product moving through your organization on a monthly basis. That average income for the executive consultant is $13,000 month after month after month. Because again, you're building a subscription-based business on a 30-day consumable product. That is very impactful. We just had a brand new person on our team hit Executive Consultant 1. She's never been involved in network marketing. She did it in roughly 18 months. She's had incredible results with this product. She has a story, and she is on fire and wants to change so many lives and has big dreams. So I love that, you can take people of all different backgrounds. We have doctors, we have, retail, we have stay-at-home moms, we have real estate, teachers, underground miners, you name it. People of all different walks of life. But what I was told when I first started, they said, Kerry, you have to have a burning desire. You have to have a great work ethic, and you have to be coachable. So if you're looking at this business, I'm asking you those same questions. Do you have a burning desire? Are you coachable? And do you have a good work ethic? I was like, check, check, check. And I love that I inherited a team of people, of leaders, that mentors that coached me and guided me along a simple process that was built in. I didn't have to create a process. I just had to follow the system. So if you are looking at joining the business, there's multiple packs that you can get involved with. The Business Builder Pack gives you literally the best of everything, and it's a huge savings. It's $9.99. But if you get with the person that invited you this month, which is just a couple days left this week, you probably can get, if you're in the US, a 10% off coupon. So 10% off these different packs. Or there's other packs available as well. So again, get with who invited you, take a look at what comes in each pack and see what is right for you. And then next, whether you're a customer or looking to do this business, you can pick a stack. We have different combinations of products that, again, they're designed with synergy in mind. The science literally shows that, and you save money where you can get things individually as well. So pick the products that you want to take on a regular basis. You can change that at any point in time and log in and get that. In closing, I just want to say, first of all, again, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to hear what we're so passionate about. If there is anything, if you are looking for more, well, no matter what, get on these products, right? We want you to put these products in your body, take it, be consistent, give it time. But if maybe you're at a crossroads in your life, maybe you're looking for more, maybe you're looking for a community, maybe a positive group to just really connect with. Again, get with the person that invited you to you. Take a look at it and see if this could be a fit for you, and know that you are not in it alone. You inherit a team, and we are just on a mission to change lives, impact more people, make money, have fun, make a difference. And we're grateful for all of you tonight, and grateful for Dr. Brett Brimhall. Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much, Kerry, guys. Appreciate you. Have a phenomenal night and a wonderful Easter. Bye, guys.
Thanks.